with another Love and Marriage Huntsville review. So this episode, it was okay. It was okay. The little aftermath of the drink being thrown and the coming up on the drug test. So this is season 7, episode 8. What's that? Holt Her Accountable. And it starts off back with Mel at the storage unit place with Kiki and Amin. And she's like, we should just shut them down. Let them know that you on your game, you clean, you doing good and everything. We should just take a drug test. I got one in the car. I'm like, Mel, you finna make her take a drug test in this storage unit? That's the first thing I thought of. Was like, where is she finna go pee, man? Where is she finna go pee? You finna go make her do all of this in the bathroom at the storage place. And first, Kiki was like, I'll do a drug test if he agreed to take a lie detector test. And both Mel and Amin was like, you know he ain't gonna do that. Don't even waste your breath on that. And she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. She goes and pees in the cup and brings it back out. And Mel was like, all right, I'm gonna let you hold your cup. I ain't gonna hold your little piece of cup. And they read off the results, and it's negative for everything: opiates, barbiturates, just everything. Like, I think it was 14 different drugs. It was funny listening to Mel country self trying to pronounce all the drugs. It was so funny. But this is the part that got me, y'all. Wasn't she taking methadone to wean herself off of the pills? So shouldn't she pop positive for methadone at least? So this got me, got my eyebrow raised like, okay then. But, she took the drug test because I feel like Kiki and Amin had conversations about her getting off the methadone because he didn't like that she was on the methadone, because he like, you trading one addiction for another. If you have your build up your dependency for this, what's different from being on the pills? But they never followed that up to say if she had got off the methadone. So that's what had me looking like, okay, but shouldn't she pop positive for methadone because she's taking methadone? But okay, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. She peed in the cup and it said negative. Somebody, I think it was Ashley Miller, had me cracking up because she was like, we need them Mona Sky Young treatments when they be in the bathroom with them. Because, baby, when Jocelyn took that pregnancy test, they was right there with her. Like, golly, we dang that seeing her panties on the floor. Like, we ain't have to be that up close and personal. But, okay, Kiki's negative. She peed in the cup. She's negative. So Mel is like, all right, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. And Amin is like, yeah, I already knew. Like, this ain't news to me. And Mel is like, well, why y'all moving anyway? Like, what we here for? Why y'all moving anyway? And they're like, yeah, we moving for our oldest son. And Mel messy but goes, oh yeah, Tiff did say y'all was moving. And this sets Kiki off because she's like, why is she obsessed with us? Because I guess Tiffany was talking to Mel and telling Mel that, I guess it's only like 2 schools in Huntsville, because it seems like everybody's child go to the same school. Because it seems like Tiffany is talking from the perspective of her son and Kiki's son going to the same school. Therefore, that's how she knew that Kiki's son was leaving the school. Was I only one that thought that? Or is that an assumption I made? I really can't remember. But that's what it kind of correlated to in my brain. Is the sons maybe was in school together. And that's how she knew that they was getting ready to move. So Tiffany telling Mel this information as if she feels like that Kiki's about to do some shady stuff to get her son into a school across town, not knowing that they were literally about to move. And the man was like, my son is way too talented for me to get him mixed up in some stuff like, I can't remember what that charge is, but they be locking black folks up for that. When black folks put their child in a better school across town or whatever, That's means to get black people locked up. He was like, I'm not doing that shady stuff. My son is too talented to be messing up his chances of, playing D1, getting the full scholarship for sports, yada yada yada. Kiki is like, why is she obsessed with us? And at this point, she ready to go at it with Tiff, because Tiff be doing the most. And I agree. I agree, y'all. So next we see Tisha and Marceau. They're packing for a trip. She's like, that's all you taking for 5 days? 5 days? We can't go for 5 days. We got all this stuff to got to live to the house that we got to do in 5 days. 5 days. She's like, we're going for Mila's birthday. She said all she wanted to do was go to the beach. So you tell Mila that we ain't going for 5 days if we can't go. He like, okay, 5 days. That's cool. That's cool. And so they move on to Kiki and the barbecue. And he says, you know what, babe? I love the way you handled yourself. I wish I would have handled myself better. I really should have handled myself better. And she's like, don't even worry about that, whatever. But I'm done with Kiki, so we ain't even got to worry about that no more. So he gets to talking about how, he was being insensitive about the drugs and everything and how that affected Stormy. He was like, she said that the friend was watching her child, and I'm sitting there thinking, the child not that old, so this has to be recent. So he was like, so we were able to kind of settle our differences because of that, because there was a greater purpose at hand. And he felt bad for hurting her and sincerely apologized for like the first time we've seen on this show. And he was like, yeah, but Tisha, you need to learn how to take accountability. I don't even remember how the conversation switched like that. But he just was like, you need to learn to take accountability. And she was like, what do I need to take accountability for? Name me something that I need to take accountability for. And he was like, the expo feedback. And I was like, yup, because she snapped at Mel about, no, we're not talking about the stuff leading up to the expo. We're talking about the actual expo. And he was like, no, that is valuable information. I know he got a little crush, a little harmless crush on Mel. So he was like, you need to be able to take that feedback. She claimed she was taking accountability, but she gonna do better, yada, yada, yada. Next thing, we see Mel at home, and her party planner comes over, and she has the invites and the place settings for her name change party. And that's all that scene really was. She had planned the whole party before even opening up the paper. So when her mom gets there and the party planner leaves, she's like, yeah, I got the letter, but I haven't opened it yet. And I was waiting on you. I want to open it with you. And she opens the letter, and her name change was accepted. So now she's Melody Cherie Rogers, which I remember at one point she had changed her name on Instagram, but I feel like she had changed it back, so I was really confused. Let me see what her name is on here, y'all. Yeah, she's still Melody S. Holt on Instagram, which is confusing to me because I'm like, girl, just put like you had for a while, Melody Cherie, or and have in your bio or whatever, formerly Holt, formerly Melody Holt. So if people are searching Melody Holt, they can still pull you, but it's weird for her to still have Melody Holt on her Instagram if you doing all this on TV to have a name change party, to officially get your name changed, to still present yourself to the world as Melody Holt. But that's her business. That's her business, y'all. So next thing, we see Stormy done went over to Kiki house to talk about Tisha. And baby, Kiki is going off. Kiki was like, Tisha and her wife, Madam Marceau, doing this, and they know my triggers, and they did this on purpose, and they teamed up. They decided they was gonna ignore me like that, and da 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 da. Kiki was still fired up. Like I said, they've been beefing since they was kids because of their parents. So Kiki ain't letting it go, and Tisha is completely over it. But Kiki is not letting it go. So she kept on, Tisha and her wife, because he's so sassy. He always in women's business, and Stormy is over there just like, see, I ain't the only one who feel like he's sassy. She might as well have called him a B word right along with Stormy. So she was like, but anyway, I ain't even worried about them. I should have been, I really came there with the intent to talk to Tiffany for that Carlos King interview. And I don't really care for Tiffany, so I had never even seen the interview. I didn't even know that she interviewed with Carlos King, y'all. Which I don't necessarily subscribe to his channel, but I watch some of his videos because it'd be people that I'm like, what they saying? Let's see what they're saying about a housewife show or love and marriage and stuff. So they played some little clips from the Carlos King interview, and Tiffany is just acting like Kiki is so beneath her. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you even in this circle? Like, who is she? Da, da, da. And just being real rude and nasty, like, for what reason? But we saw how she was towards Kiki at the top of season 7 when Mel went over there and she was like, yeah, did you see Kiki on Crime Stoppers? We just need to distance ourselves from her. We shouldn't be around people like that. We need to distance ourselves. We need to distance ourselves. She was doing a whole lot. So you can tell that Tiffany is truly trying to drive home this point that Kiki is beneath her or them all together, and she does not want to be associated with her at all, y'all. So Kiki is annoyed by that. She wants to comment her about that. And then she asked Stormy, okay, did you send her some products or something? Yeah, she been talking crap about your products, saying that the ingredients ain't safe and this, that, and the third. And she also been talking crap about my son switching schools. And she brings up what Melody told her about the son. They transfer him to a different school to make sure that he gets to play the position to get him the most shine so that he can get a scholarship for college. So Kiki is over everybody basically. Kiki is so over. Tiffany is so over Tisha. The tease basically. So the next thing we see, Mel invites Tisha and Kimmy to work out with her trainer. And when you see the trainer, it's like this little old lady. Well, I ain't gonna say she's like a little old lady. She's an older woman. And you're like, okay, like, this your trainer? You know what I mean? It was just interesting to see. But I mean, the lady gave them a good workout. It wasn't like the lady was out of shape or nothing like that. She gave them a good workout or whatever. So Mel arrives first, and Mel is like, completely stripped down. She ain't got no makeup on. She ain't even got no cute workout clothes. She just got on a t-shirt and some shorts. She ain't got no weave in. She just got her hair pulled back in a little ponytail. I was like, you know what? I can appreciate Mel being her stripped down self on camera like that. Like, I can appreciate that because most of these girls, they gonna wear makeup to the workout session. They gonna find their best Lululemon, their best, Fabletics or whatever the girls wear. I wear Fabletics, Lululemon or whatever the girls wear to work out in. And Mel was like, "Girl, I'm here for a workout. No makeup, natural, not natural, but real hair pulled back. We finna get busy." So Mel arrives. Tisha arrives right after her. And she was like, oh, I can tell Tisha, there was a little tension. And girl, they just sitting there waiting for Kimmy in complete silence. I was cracking up. So Kimmy gets there and she's like, ooh, I can tell it's a little tense too. And so they do the workout or whatever. Kimmy is like, they need a beginners. This wasn't no beginners. We need a beginners, an intermediate, and maybe an advanced class. Because, she just finished her treatments and everything. So she was telling them that basically her lung capacity isn't what it should be. And the doctor told her, well, it might stay like that. Like, you might forever get easily winded and stuff. And she was like, God, you a lie. God got me. I'm going to get better. So she's got like a little, I guess she got one of them, like them little breathing machines where it's like you blow out hard as you can and it takes it up to like, okay, this is you breathing at whatever percentage. And so she's tracking her breathing and working on her breathing. And shout out to Kimmy, prayers and everything that she gets back 100% to her normal self and is feeling good about herself. So next they're like, well, how are you doing, Tisha? And Tisha is just like, after the barbecue, yada, yada, yada. But I've been distanced myself from Kiki. I don't have time for that in my life. She always speaking on my marriage, I know she's still doing drugs. They're like, well, how you know she's still doing drugs? Because she's still asking people in the family for money and da da this and da da that. And Mel is like, but yeah, it seems like, it was such a crazy reaction that she had. Is there anything that happened before the barbecue? Basically, Mel, in a messy roundabout way, is trying to get Tisha to talk about the rumors of Marceau cheating. Okay, because we know that the makeup artist supposed to slept with somebody. Marceau probably had a threesome with somebody, allegedly. Allegedly. So Mel is trying to get Tisha to say this, but Tisha is like, I'm about to go. Y'all gonna make me leave. I'm about to go. Tisha is not gonna address these rumors, and I don't necessarily blame her because it's like, why are you fishing for information that you clearly already know? So you know, I probably wouldn't even showed up to this if I was Tisha, to be honest, because you know what this about to be. But whatever, she's there. She's trying to push through for the scene. You know, you gotta be in the scene so you can be in the episode. But she is very much over it, honey. So she eventually leaves because they keep asking her questions that she don't really want to answer because she's not gonna bring up these cheating allegations. And y'all, Tisha is literally right there in the background, putting her shoes on or whatever, getting her stuff together. And they sitting there talking about, I feel like she's still very bothered. Tisha is still in the room. Tisha is still in the room before they start talking about her. And I'm sorry, but y'all, that cracked me up because that was just so ridiculous. They talking about the girl and she's still right there. So anyway, last scene of the episode, Martell goes over to the Fletcher's house because he's dropping off some wine to Chris. I guess Chris is having a dinner party later on, and asks Martell, "Yo, you want to bring a couple of bottles of wine over? You owe me. You've been in that house with them." I feel like that's how the conversation went. So I didn't even realize Martell was still making that wine, I guess, for him to be bringing it over. But I guess so, because I doubt that he would have Martell just running errands for him. So he brings the wine over, but Fletch isn't there. Nell is outside watering her plants. So they kind of have a little conversation. She's like, "Oh, has Mel told you that she's changing her name?" And his feelings are so hurt, y'all. In the episode, they have all these flashbacks to when they were Holt and Holt, and they talking about the business, and he telling her, "I built you up. You should be successful on how I built you up and how I did this for you. You should be successful. You should be pushing through and doing this, that, and the third." And then another clip where he's like, "I should be getting half." This is when they was divorcing. "I should be getting half. I built this up." She was like, "We'll dissolve it. I'll dissolve it right there. Company dissolve." She ain't giving him half of her stuff, and I don't blame her because Martell is such a leech. He just wants to tag on to whoever he can to get his fame, his fortune, his notoriety, his home, his dwelling, his paychecks, his livelihood. Like, it don't look like he can stand on his own for nothing, y'all. For nothing. So he is very butthurt about this party. And Nell Fletcher is like, it's hard being in the middle of between y'all because, you know, we still friends with you. We still friends with Melody. But I'm going to go to the party. Yeah, I'm a supporter. Yeah, I'm a supporter. And he's like, well, if you're my friend, you shouldn't even go to this party. And she's like, if you had something or if you was doing something, we would go and support you. So what would that be any difference? And somewhere in the conversation, she was like, you cheated just like Fletch cheated. Like, men do crazy stuff, yada, yada, yada. And he like, but she doing this in my face. She doing this name change stuff in my face. She said, you cheated in her face. He said she had an affair too with multiple guys. And they get into this whole argument about, well, you need to ask her if she cheated. You need to ask her if she cheated. And they're like, I ain't never asked her that. Basically, she ain't never felt the need to ask Melody if she ever cheated because we saw what Martell did all out in the open, buying the girl a car, getting the girl pregnant, finding out the girl was pregnant multiple times, had abortions and carrying on. So she was like, there wasn't no need to ask Mel if she cheated. And he's like, I ain't cheated in like 3-4 years. I ain't cheated in like 3-4 years. She was like, you single. You can do whatever you want. It's not cheating if you single. He's like, exactly. Huh? Just not making no sense at all, y'all. He ain't making no sense at all. So they arguing, and eventually you know, he just gets up to leave. He's over the conversation. So is Nell, and that's how the the conversation and the episode ends. And we see in next week episode where Nell is telling Chris about the conversation, and Chris is like, "Do I need to go talk to him? Because this sounds like yelling at my wife. You know, that's I don't like." Chris about to get activated now. He been chill. He been just, in the background giving a little commentary here and there. But it looked like Chris probably gonna get activated because Martell was doing a lot with all that screaming at Nell, like Nell did something wrong. Like it was just real extra, y'all. So that was this episode of Living Marriage Huntsville. Holt Her Accountable. And I guess in the next episode or the episode after that coming up, we're gonna see the name change. Where I guess she eventually invites Martell to the party because he was there. I don't know if somebody told him when and where it was gonna be, what time and all that, or if she actually invited him. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Melody Cherie Rogers, but Melody S. Holt on Instagram. So y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Show me that you're out there, trying to really build the channel up. And, I'm going to start doing, I think tomorrow I'm going to do, what shows came on yesterday? Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Girl, Married to Medicine was so good. I have to rewatch them both to take notes because I be watching with my mama on Sundays and we be talking in between and doing this and my daughter disturbing me. So I watched it the first go around. I'm gonna have to watch it again to take notes, and I will do those tomorrow. But like I said, like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Bye y'all. Have a good day.